So I'm about to hit the shower after going to the gym, so this is the perfect opportunity to deliberately do my makeup bad so that you guys can see some do's and don'ts of application. And I've seen a couple of tutorials go over like how to get your eyeshadow blended out really nicely, and I'll be the first person to admit I usually rush that step. But I'm going to start very specifically with like a hot pink, so you just have that contrast. It's not a color I love to wear. And I'm going to like really just smash it down onto my eye so you can see some of the problem areas that I'm going to have with application. So the first one that you're going to see that's going to be a little bit interesting is I do have some patchiness here in the crease, and it's really heavy in application where I put my brush down at first. So that's going to be solved your first way by picking up your brush or your eyeshadow with your brush very lightly and just kind of working it into the tip so you have an active application, and then pulling your hand back along the length of your brush. So instead of having it up here and applying a lot of pressure, you're going to hold it down here, which changes, I don't know, some physics thing, your fulcrum, I don't know, so that you're very gently dusting and you're not getting that really heavy deposit of makeup. So you can see right away how much smoother that looks. And then if you need more, then you add more layers like that. So a little bit of editing, and then what you can also have besides just having kind of splotchiness is skipping. And I'm going to try to like deliberately get my eyes to skip or my shadow to skip. That might be hard, so I'm using a really dense brush. And you can see that pressure as I pull my eye forward, man, skipping's hard to do it on purpose. It happens all the time and I'm not paying attention. Right? When I have all those wrinkles there, if I'm pressing that and trying to move forward, I'm actually going to get slight vertical patches where there's no eyeshadow being applied at all. And you end up with the same problem. It's a little bit of patchiness, but as you can see, I actually have a little bit of striation. Almost like akin to when people were like deliberately doing Beetlejuice lips and like makeup or like wrinkle makeup, kind of interesting. So to do that, you fix it. I just take a dense brush and then I go to the areas where it's patchy. So I've got like a spot right here. I've got a spot right here. And then I start building that up. And you see how dense the pigment is, but it's also very even there. Oh, there's some skipping right here. That could occur naturally, as you can see. Like there's pigment here, not here, here, and not here. So I take my pigment and then, or my eyeshadow, right? And I tap it in. Now, when I go to blend, again, taking a little bit and working it into the brush, and keeping in mind, I'm only dipping into this one shade of hot pink. You could obviously use a lighter shade. I'm using a very light hand, and I'm doing swirling motions. Now, I do often do a windshield wiper motion. I do often go back and forth like this. That's fine if you're holding your pencil like this and you have a light hand and you're not dragging your skin. But if you have very loose lids, my lids are pretty loose from hooded eyes, but as you age, it gets even more loose. Do smaller motions that don't pull your skin from one side to the other. Your skin's very delicate around your eyes, so just kind of treat it like that. You're not trying to paint on with pigment. You're trying to lightly layer in dust, and doing those circles gives you a much more even blend. Again, I would go into, in like the real world, I would go into a lighter makeup color. So I've got a very light pink that I'm using here, and I'm putting in a very little bit and then just adding it slowly in layers, and that gets you the prettier blend. Now, this was obviously a very rushed and hacked job to show you what it's like, but especially if you have hooded eyes, open up your lid and then pat, and then hold your brush. Between those two things, you won't get really, really, really patchy and skipping. That's just what's happening. Striped eyeshadow. So I hope that helps you get a little bit of a better blend. And I'm gonna go take a shower and wash this off because this is not the way I'm wearing my makeup today.